Renzo gang, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Now today we are back with the insane lore of Mortal Kombat Part 2. This is Part 2. Like I told y'all, I'm gonna break this down into a lot of videos because this is a very, 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 very long video. Goodness gracious. Yeah, Mortal Kombat has a lot of backstories. And then it has also with Mortal Kombat, it has a lot of stories and a lot of remakes. So I understand why this is a long video, a lot longer than Tekken. So I'm not gonna bore y'all to death with this intro. I'm gonna go ahead and dive right on into it because this is long. So this is part two. Hope y'all enjoy it, especially for those that want some Mortal Kombat content. Cause like I said before, Mortal Kombat to me, in my opinion, is second to Tekken. So and then unfortunately, then well, after I finish up with this one, whenever that is, I will go over to the Street Fighter content. You know, if you guys still want to see some Street Fighter content, I'll definitely go over there. So, with that being said, let's dive on into it, Renzo gang.
Sorry, but this series has a lot of backstory. The conflict between Raiden and Shinnok was like millions of years ago, and Shao Kahn conquered Edenia over 10,000 years ago.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, you're 10,000 years old? Oh, talk about aging gracefully.
But yeah, with this
I would
10th
definitely marry
tournament, the
Katana.
stakes couldn't be higher. And so, Raiden has entrusted all of his hopes into a standout student of the Wuxi Academy, a training ground of the White Lotus Society. Enter Liu Kang, a Shaolin monk who was orphaned at a young age who has been training to be the Mortal Kombat champion his entire life.
Yep.
If any character is going to be the pure-hearted, altruistic Captain America Boy Scout, it's definitely
Not Captain
this
America,
guy.
man. Come on.
Liu Kang was taught everything he knows by his master, Bo Rai Cho, who, fun fact, is actually from Outworld and not Earthrealm. See, he doesn't like living under the heel of Shao Kahn, but since he's technically an Outworlder, if he were to enter the tournament, it would be in favor of his worst enemy. So instead, he trains others in the hopes that they can protect their realms. Bo Rai Cho is a practitioner of drunken boxing, a skill Liu Kang did
Bo
not
Rai Cho.
acquire. In fact, the only move of real significance he got from the guy is the flying kick. I guess Liu Kang didn't want to learn how to belly flop on people. Or how to puke on them.
Oh, I hate when Bo Rai Cho do
Or how to
that.
kill somebody by farting on them.
Bo Rai Cho is disgusting.
By farting. Are you kidding me?
Sadly, no.
No,
I am not kidding.
And people say Johnny Cage is the comic relief character. Pfft. Inside the society,
Y'all
Liu
gonna stop
Kang is best
disrespecting
friends
Johnny
with another
Cage.
student who happens to be the descendant of the great Kung Lao. His name? Kung Lao. Using a razor hat which he can use to cut people in half, this guy wants to live up to his ancestor's name and become the new Mortal Kombat champion. And although he possesses great skill, it's also made him very arrogant and full of himself. As such, he was unable to defeat Liu Kang in the qualifying bouts, meaning he was not allowed to participate in the tournament. Instead, he would sneak inside dressed as one of the guards to make sure nothing bad happened.
You simply were not ready, Kung Lao.
What does Liu Kang have that I don't?
That you
He's not
ask
cocky.
answers your question.
Also competing in the tournament is a man named Johnny Cage, real name John Carlton.
I'm sorry, Johnny Cage is definitely one of my favorites. More, I don't know why nobody don't like Johnny Cage. Like y'all gotta stop hating on Johnny Cage. And also for those that don't know, I'm pretty sure some of you might know. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but for those that don't know, Johnny Cage is he's the video game version of Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's the inspiration of Jean-Claude Van Damme. Just like, for example, Liu Kang, martial law, and Fei Long from Street Fighter, they're all inspirations of Bruce Lee. Just like in the Tekken video, you got Lei Wulong, he's an inspiration of Jackie Chan. Fang Wei, inspiration of Jet Li. Um, and also for those who don't know, Balrog, he's an inspiration of Mike Tyson because he was actually going to be named Mike Bison. But anyway, enough of that. But for those that don't know, yeah, Johnny Cage is Jean-Claude Van Damme. So
This man is not a Shaolin monk. Instead, he is a Hollywood actor who embraced martial arts. You might remember him from such films as Dragon Fist, Dragon Fist 2, Sudden Violence, 24 Karate Gold, Exiting the Dragon of Death, the Academy Award-winning Hurrah! Opposite Channy Jack.
Massive Strike, Citizen Cage,
Channy
Ninja
Jack.
Mime. None of those ring a bell?
Being an A-list movie star, Johnny Cage definitely has a bit of an ego.
Yeah,
he's
he
in
definitely
love with
does.
himself, he doesn't take a lot of things seriously. One might assume he's one of the weaker, more foolish characters.
But he's
Taking
definitely
you
a
out,
beast.
I'm taking you out, and I'm taking you out for dinner.
Ugh.
But when push comes to shove, Johnny Cage is the real deal. Descended
Johnny
from
Cage
an
can
ancient
squabble, though.
Mediterranean cult that bred warriors for the gods, Johnny has a magical energy source inside of himself that gives him unreal power. He's entered the tournament to prove why he does his own stunts.
Yep.
Another person competing in the tournament is Kano, an Australian cutthroat for hire who leads his own mercenary group, the Black Dragon.
The Black
These guys
Dragon.
are criminal arms dealers who generally make the world a much shittier place for everybody. A group that has their own cyberneticists, which really come in handy when half your face gets blown off. Kano retrofitted the left side of his head to house a laser eye that really makes him look like the Terminator.
Yeah.
The Black Dragon have earned the attention of the U.S. Special Forces, in particular Major Jackson Briggs and Lieutenant Sonya Blade, a woman who looks less like a soldier and more like she's ready to jazzercise to Richard Simmons. Regardless, Kano pretended to be an informant for the group, which only led to an ambush and disaster.
Yep.
Sonya will not stop until she's gotten her revenge.
Yep.
Kano's still here somewhere.
Your obsession with him is gonna get you killed.
No, for real. Like, she was obsessed with Kano. Like, seriously.
One day, she and her squad chased Kano to a giant boat, which happened to be Shang Tsung's personal vessel. The guards on board subdued the special forces and gave Sonya an ultimatum. Compete in the tournament, or you and your teammates are all going to die. And finally, it wouldn't be Mortal Kombat if I didn't talk about two of the game's most popular characters, the colored ninjas Scorpion and Sub-Zero. In fact, in order to talk about the history these two guys have, I actually have to take a detour and talk about one of the game's spin-offs. Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero.
I think I remember that
prequel
game.
That sets up Sub-Zero's backstory going into the tournament. In China, there is a league of assassins known as the Lin Kuei. These guys are basically mercenaries who will do anything sketchy if the price is right. Hell, most of the Lin Kuei recruits are all children who were abducted from their homes, trained from youth to be specialized killers.
Cyrex Sector, Bihan, Kuai Liang.
Bihan and Kuai Liang are taught the art of cryomancy. This gives them the ability to spawn ice powers that can freeze anything. Kuai Liang was given the code name Tundra, while Bihan was given the moniker of Sub-Zero. The goofiest thing you could ever call.
And for those that don't know, well, you know what? Why am I even saying for those that don't know? I'm pretty sure we're going to get it here. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, in the Mortal Kombat 4, the Nintendo version, the one with the scar on his face, that was Kuai Liang, not Bihan. We'll get to that.
A ninja.
Let's get something straight. I am not a ninja. I am Lin Kuei.
Lin Kuei
Scorpion was a ninja.
Oh yeah, you guys are completely different. One wears yellow and the other wears blue.
Right.
But in reality, one Lin Kuei member named Takeda did leave the group and go to Japan to spread the art of ninjutsu.
Oh, I'm about to say
Takeda created the rival clan of the Shirai Ryu. These two factions friggin' hate each other. And Sub-Zero in particular has earned the ire of a man named Hanzo Hasashi, codename Scorpion. One day, the two warriors received the exact same mission on the exact same day, both breaking into a Shaolin temple to steal a special map. Naturally, it results in a confrontation, and this one has a very clear winner. But, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Sub-Zero murders Scorpion in cold blood, retrieves the map for himself, and returns to claim the prize. It turns out this mission was orchestrated by the sorcerer Quan Chi. Shinnok's loyal buddy purposefully hired both factions not just to increase his chances, but also to lead Scorpion away so that he couldn't protect his clan.
Our ancient foes, vanquished in one transaction.
And I've personally
I really hated Quan Chi with a passion. I'm not a fan of Quan Chi at all.
Forever.
I do
Ah,
like his
man,
fatality
talk
on
about
Mortal
insult
Kombat
to
2011. He
Anyway,
like literally
Sub-Zero
beats you
needed
half
this
to
map
death.
so he could find the Temple of the Ancients. Quan Chi figures that
Elements.
cryomancy is just the power needed to be able to retrieve the treasure inside. Only Sub-Zero could possibly face off against the 4 elemental gods that dwell within. Oh Christ, that's one hell of a request. You're basically asking for a Mortal Kombat champion to clean house. But amazingly, Sub-Zero is actually badass enough to pull it off. He faces off with the Earth God, the Water God, the Fire God, as well as the God of Wind Fujin, who will become the most relevant of the 4 Guardians.
I love Fujin.
But he's successful. He gets through the traps and finally finds an amulet.
The amulet. I have Shinnok's amulet.
Whose amulet?
He is my deity, ruler of the Netherrealm, and soon destroyer of your Earthrealm. Goodbye, ninja.
Why is he moping like he's Charlie Brown?
Right.
Either way, Raiden shows
Well,
up
you got
just
played.
a tad late to let Sub-Zero know he's made a gigantic mistake. Being the protector of Earthrealm, he is incapable of entering the Netherrealm and reclaiming the amulet himself. So, he basically forces Sub-Zero to go to hell to get the thing back before it ends up in Shinnok's clutches.
Yeah.
The Lin Kuei warrior agrees, but only because he has no choice.
Of course.
Inside,
That's
he
Raiden.
immediately gets captured, and that's when he sees a familiar face.
I am Scorpion. You killed me in cold blood.
I had no choice.
But my clan and family would still be alive.
What?
It wasn't enough to kill me. You had to destroy every last remnant of my being, including my wife and child.
You're mistaken.
Words will not save you.
See, that's what Quan Chi. That's what you get for working with Quan Chi. That's what you
This
get.
game's friggin' hilarious. So yes, Scorpion is under the impression that Sub-Zero murdered his wife Harumi and his son Satoshi. Since Hanzo loved his family more than anything, the undead specter becomes a man possessed, his soul unable to rest until his family's killer has been destroyed. Sub-Zero still manages to fend the specter off and breaks out of prison to enter Shinnok's fortress. There he gets ambushed by Quan Chi's 3 Sisters of Shadow, one of which is a lady named Serena. Sub-Zero had the opportunity to end her life, but whether it was guilt over Scorpion or just pity for a pretty face, Bi-Han decides to let her live. At the top of the tower, he confronts Quan Chi.
You cannot exist here unless you were tainted with evil. You belong here. Join my brothers of the Shadow and worship our Lord Shinnok.
Never, sorcerer!
Sub-Zero battles with the sorcerer, and during the fight, he gets some unexpected help.
Why did you help me?
Take me with you. I've waited an eternity.
Take me with
You don't understand.
you.
I can't leave without you.
Oh! Shinnok comes from behind and supposedly kills Serena. So now it's Sub-Zero versus the
Bro, he is
former Elder
ugly.
God. And thanks to his ice powers, it's surprisingly easy. A magical portal opens up and Bi-Han escapes to deliver the amulet back to Raiden. All's well that ends well. When the Lin Kuei warrior returns home, he finds that he already has a new client.
His name is Shang Tsung, and he would like you
Oh,
to compete
Lord.
in a small tournament. It's called Mortal Kombat.
Hey, that's the name of the game I'm playing! So yeah, that's Sub-Zero's backstory going into the tournament. In reality, his true motivation for entering is to collect the bounty on Shang Tsung's head. But he's gotta be careful, because Scorpion has also arrived to participate as well. And one benefit of being a Spectre from Hell is that he can now summon Hellfire from the ground, teleport for surprise attacks, and he has the ability to take off his own face in order to breathe fire onto his enemies. Also, he's very insistent that you get over there.
Get over here. Come here.
And that's all the playables of the original Mortal Kombat. Although, there is one extra hidden character that not many players
I hate when
will
they
be able
script
to
like
face
they're like,
off
y'all look
with.
so
A
retarded.
green ninja who
Well,
goes
y'all
by
look so
the name
slow.
of Reptile.
Sorry
He
about the
doesn't
R
belong
word.
to a ninja clan. He is one of the last remaining Zaterans who works for Shao Kahn. On this particular instance, he's tasked with being Shang Tsung's bodyguard. He may look human on the outside, but
But on the
like
inside,
with
he's not.
Scorpion, this is all a facade. Only Raiden knows the true name of the one called Reptile.
Step aside, Syzoth.
You know my
Syzoth.
true name.
And the path to your defeat.
Anyway, Mortal Kombat takes place on Shang Tsung's private island, and the competitors all manage to bond with each other. Raiden unites Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, and Sonya Blade because this is the most
I remember
important
that cartoon.
competition of their lives. To fail would mean the doom of Earthrealm.
The fate of billions will depend
Upon you. Sorry.
So what do we know about the first game? Well, Kano was thought to have been killed in the first tournament, so I'm assuming Sonya knocked his ass into the pit.
I think she did.
Flawless victory.
Scorpion and Sub-Zero do face off once again, but this time we get a wildly different outcome. Scorpion unleashes his rage and gets the better of the Lin Kuei warrior. Man, Bi-Han was a badass, but I guess karma had to catch up sometime. And now we reach the finals. Who was the badass who managed to reach the championship fight? Why, it was the Shaolin monk, Liu Kang. Bred to be a champion since he was a little boy, his fighting prowess is unmatched.
And I forgot he did beat Goro.
Off with Prince Goro. Forearms or no, the Shokan can't handle Liu Kang's speed and precision and ends up getting dethroned. But that's not the end. Shang Tsung still has the right to final combat, and so he challenges Liu Kang.
Since he is the
But
former
if the great
champion,
Kung
so
Lao could do it
obviously.
while Shang was a younger fellow, you can bet that fighting him as an old man isn't that much worse. Liu Kang achieves the impossible. He defeats Shang Tsung, once again tipping the balance of power back into Earthrealm's favor. We have a new Mortal Kombat champion and a new era of peace. Or at least so it seemed anyway. So Mortal Kombat 2 begins with Shao Kahn extremely pissed off at Shang Tsung. This is the second time that Earthrealm has escaped his grasp.
You failed me too often, sorcerer.
Over a millennium, I failed you twice.
That is unacceptable.
The Emperor is more than ready to end the Sorcerer's life when Shang Tsung makes a desperate pitch. They may have lost in Earthrealm's tournament, but what if they were to create a new one that raises the stakes? A single competition to be held in the Outworld itself, where the winner takes all. If Shao Kahn
If I was
wins,
Shao Kahn, I would have ended
Earthrealm
Shang Tsung.
is
I'm
his.
sorry.
But if he loses, his claim is lost forever. It's certainly a dangerous proposition, but at least this time around, the Emperor himself would be able to squash the competition.
Yeah.
Shao agrees, and to better his chances, he even revitalizes Shang Tsung, giving him back the youth that would no doubt give Liu Kang a run for his money. Now, of course, the Earthrealmers might see this for the desperate gambit that it is and turn down the offer. So perhaps the heroes will need a little motivation. Shao Kahn calls upon his Tarkatan army, which is
Baraka.
led by General Baraka. Tarkatans make up the bulk of the Outworld forces, and they're basically nomadic mutants. They have no hair, fucked up teeth, and they're also born with retractable blades that they can send directly out of their arms. These guys come with natural weapons, and that is one hell of a feature, I gotta say.
Bro.
With an army this deadly, not even a temple of Shaolin monks could withstand
Why is
their
Johnny Cage
onslaught.
doing that?
Which is exactly what happens when the Emperor sicks them upon the White Lotus Society. Liu Kang and Kung Lao return from Shang Tsung's island to find that all of the innocent monks have been massacred. Everybody is dead, the society is no more. Revenge burns deeply in Liu Kang's soul. To make matters worse, while Raiden is pondering whether to accept Shao Kahn's challenge, he finds that one of his chosen heroes has gone missing. Lieutenant Sonya Blade was ambushed by Outworlders and abducted from Earthrealm.
I thought you were about to say,
She
like,
now
Striker.
finds herself chained up in Khan's Coliseum, right alongside her good buddy Kano, who is very much still alive. This spurs her commanding officer, Major Jackson Briggs, to approach the forces of light, asking to join them. No soldier gets left behind.
I'm not
The
gonna lie. I didn't play the old Mortal Kombat games. Well, I take that back. I have, but it's like far as like beating it, no. Like the first Mortal Kombat game I played was Mortal Kombat 4 on the Nintendo 64. On my Sega Genesis that I have here, it's got a lot of Sega Genesis games programmed into it, and it's got Mortal Kombat's 1 through 3. I didn't really like them that much. I liked the Mortal Kombat 4 and up. I didn't really like the old school, like the old Mortal Kombat's. I don't know, I just didn't.
That Raiden can't help but agree with. And so he takes Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Johnny Cage, and Jackson Briggs, or Jax for short, into Outworld. They all agree to participate in the second tournament to rid Earthrealm of the Outworld menace once and for all. Meanwhile, it gets back to the Lin Kuei headquarters that Bi-Han was murdered. Sub-Zero is dead, and this news shocks his younger brother Kuai Liang, who is determined to find answers concerning what happened. It's then that he learns of the second tournament and decides to venture into Outworld so he can participate. But he's not going to be going as Tundra. Instead, he will adopt his fallen brother's persona, becoming the new Sub-Zero. He also gets accompanied by his best friend and fellow assassin, Smoke. Real name Tomas Verbata, this warrior has the ability to manipulate, well, smoke. He doesn't know where he got these powers, but it allows him to blend in with his surroundings and make others suffocate.
I like Smoke to an extent.
He doesn't actively participate in the tournament, but he is a hidden character one can challenge. And since Sub-Zero is competing, this attracts the attention of Scorpion. He comes back from hell one more time to make sure that he killed the right person. The forces of darkness have many combatants at their disposal. Reptile, Shang Tsung, Baraka, Jade, as well as Shao Kahn's two adoptive daughters, Kitana and Melina. While competing in the tournament, Kitana comes face to face with the Mortal Kombat champion Liu Kang for the first time. And while they are on opposite sides, there's something about this noble Shaolin that intrigues her. He treats Kitana with respect, he refuses to kill his opponents, and the encounter makes her question a great many things. Why does she feel so out of place with her father? Why doesn't her twin sister Melina pop up in her childhood memories? This leads her to doing some investigative work and uncovering a major secret.
All right, you guys. This is part 2. This is the end of part 2. So I'm going to continue giving you guys this content. Like I said, this is a very long video. So part 3 will be coming soon. Stay tuned. I love you guys. Renzo Gang, I'm out. You feel me?